You have a couple of real special players, individuals. Just your thoughts on them heading into senior day.
Senior day is always tough on everybody, coaches, players, families. But it really should be for us a celebration of these two young men and what they've done in the 2 years that they've both played here. With Antoon, just been a great addition to the program. His work ethic, his every day coming in to get the job done. He's added so much to us. We've had to put him and change him around in some different times, and he's never blinked an eye. He's done whatever we needed to do. And he's been a big part of the turnaround that we've had here in the last 2 years, no question about it. He's going to get his degree in the spring, which is fantastic. And he's going to be able to move on and go play professional basketball back overseas, and he's excited about that. And we owe him a lot, for all the work that he's put in, and just, unbelievable teammate. And Q, more individual accolades, but along those same lines, a guy that has kind of been the heart and soul of the team over the last 2 years, the emotional leader of the team, kind of encapsulates what, how we want to play, how hard and competitive we want to play, and he's just elevated everybody else because of that. The leading the league in steals, leading the league in assists, the defensive player of the year. He'll go down as one of the best guards that's ever played here. And he's made a huge impact on the program. He'll also get his degree in the spring, which is fantastic. And he's got a bright future in front of him as well. So you get to this point, you celebrate their success, you celebrate the impact that they made, but really you take a step back and just very blessed to have both those guys part of our program.
Got some great home crowds this year already. How important is it to get another one for these guys and to finish strong against a tough opponent?
Yeah, we don't live in a bubble. We understand, lost a tough one the other night and different things. But I always, just really ask those fans that have been such a big part of what we've been trying to build, to come out on Saturday night and thank these two guys and the managers, the senior managers that are graduating as well, for all the work that they've done. Sometimes their imprint won't be felt until down the road. And I know there's no doubt about it that it will be felt, and if we can get everybody out here to thank them, it would be fantastic.
You brought up the senior managers. Most fans have no idea what team managers do. Could you talk about that a little bit, their importance?
They're so, it's funny, in my 30 years now of being an assistant and as a head coach, sometimes those managers, once they're done, their success rate is off the chart, in terms of whatever endeavor they move into. A lot of them get into coaching, a lot of them, in business and education and different things, but they do so much for our program. A lot of self-sacrifice without a lot of reward, at least public reward or financial reward. And they are a huge part of our success. Every day, getting everything ready for practice. Because of our lower numbers, at times they have to scoot in there on the scout team and get the pad out on the big guys and different things like that. There's been a few injuries here and there with that, but they continue to get right back up and keep going at it. They know they have to maintain a really good grade point average because they're here first to get their education. And they've done that, but it's also something every day our guys can look at, because when we talk about serving first, they see that every single day by these young men, and our success. And one of the things we try to build in our program, everybody takes ownership in their particular responsibility, and if they're doing it their very best, then it's adding to the success of the program, and our managers have grabbed that and have done a great job with that.
You always talk about, your kind of guys, when you bring them into the program. How have LaQuincy and Antoon just embraced that and become your kind of guys?
I think first and foremost it comes by being a good man, and treating people with respect and always being honest, being on time. Those are the three things we ask of young men, because if you do that, it's amazing how good of a person you can be, So you have to grasp that, and those guys have done that in a tremendous fashion. But they're also hardworking guys. They're competitive guys. They're not satisfied with where they're at. They want to get better. Both of them bring it every day in practice and in every workout, because the best way to, to ensure success is to build that as a daily habit and make the choices every day to do that. And those guys have definitely done that. They also have a good idea of the big picture in mind, because when you're in a point like this for us this year, really high levels of frustration can come in. They also understand that this is part of the process. It's never predictable. We've got hit with some unpredictability this year, and so you got to keep fighting, and those guys have done a great job of that.
You talk about keeping the big picture in mind. You're preparing to win a game, and it's senior night, and sometimes there can be unbelievable emotion during those ceremonies. So how do you keep the team focused on, hey, we got to win this game?
Well, I think first you say, hey, listen, this is these guys' last game, and the added incentive is that let's send them out on a night they're going to remember. I talked to some of our younger guys yesterday. I remember my senior night, over helping on the lane line drive and giving up a 3 in the corner to lose the game. I remember that, and that was believe me, that was a long time ago. You always remember your senior night, and you want to finish it out, but also the other guys have to dig down a little deeper for that as well. I've been through enough of them now. There's been some unbelievable performances and some performances that were less than stellar because of the emotional piece to it. That's unpredictable. But at the same time, our job over the next 2 days is prepare as best we can, and for our guys to be emotional, but direct that in a positive manner.
You go back to that first game against SMU back in January, first conference game at Moody. A lot of factors you couldn't control in that sense, but you're at home. A lot more factors you can't control. How do you kind of not let that first game happen again?
Yeah, it was a 4-point game with 3 minutes to go in the first half. They hit a tough kind of a prayer shot at the end of the shot clock, and then they went on a run from there. And we didn't play well those last 24 minutes of that game. And they were playing extremely well at that time. We weren't playing as well. The biggest thing is, and it doesn't really change a lot, our transition defense has to be great because they're dynamic in the open court. You got to really guard the basketball because they can drive you from all 4 spots. And for us, you got to take care of the ball. You have to have quality possessions where you're getting shots up on the rim. That doesn't change too much. The difference is they're one of the few teams in the league that can play really big and then downsize as well. So you have to have a couple different defensive packages and offensive packages ready for how they're going to play, because they'll do both within the game.
Good stuff.